Is it recording? Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to your May 2025 astrological forecast. So the month starts off with the sun still in Taurus up until the 20th. And on the 4th we have a planet going retrograde, which is Pluto. Okay, everything else is in direct motion. On the 10th, Mercury moves into Taurus. On the 12th, there's a full moon in Scorpio. On the 20th, the Sun moves into Gemini. On the 24th, Saturn moves into Aries. And I do have to say, you know, Neptune moved into Aries last month. I'm sorry. There, I had to use my computer, okay, to record. My camera is really screwing up, so please bear with me. You'll see on some of the other videos, they're like totally out of focus, so please just ignore that. Anyway, Neptune just moved into Aries, and Saturn also moves into Aries on the 24th, giving Pisces a little break, okay, over the summer at least. Both of these planets will move back into Pisces to finish up their transit there. And then next year, they'll fully move into Aries. But for this summer, for like a few months, both of these planets are going to be in Aries. So, you know, Pisces gets a break, and even Virgo, as far as that goes, the opposite sign of Pisces. So on the 25th, Mercury is in Gemini, and on the 26th, there's a new moon in Gemini, and all month, Venus is in Aries, and Mars is in Leo, okay? So, thank you so much. Special shout out to my subscribers for your continued support, for your likes and shares and comments, and if you're new to my channel and you like this video, be sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You'll be notified each time I upload something. You can also check out the links in the description box below. There is one to my website, but it is easier to just email me at Zane's Zodiac .com. I'm sorry, Zane Zodiac at gmail.com. Okay. And just ask me whatever it is you would like to know, whatever service, you know, do I offer this service or that service or whatever. And there's also a thing called Ask Me a Question, which is for those of you who only want to know maybe one or two things about your chart. And also, don't forget to check out my weekly forecast, which is now daily shorts. And now for your forecast. Hi, Virgo. So, with the sun in Taurus, it's in your 9th house. Okay, that's where you have the sign of Taurus. 9th house being long distance travel and communications, higher learning, legal matters, media and publishing, your religious and spiritual beliefs, your philosophy on life, the house of adventure, and long distance, foreign countries, people, and languages, okay? So the planet Uranus has been here for a while. You know, maybe you've had sudden opportunities to travel or just on a whim did travel, you know. With the sun here up until the 20th, you may have a lot more contact with people who do live at a distance, possibly in another country. And you know what, this could actually happen on like social media, because the 9th house is an internet house, media and publishing, right? It's one of the internet houses. So if you're like online and you belong to maybe a group, or you just have friends who like are from all around the world, right? So you just have more contact with them at this time. But you may actually take a trip, take a little trip, you know, especially when Mercury moves into Taurus on the 10th. Up until that time, like the first 10 days of the month, it's in Aries in your 8th house of other people's money and resources, right? Also, you know, I'll do this because, you know, Saturn moves here on the 25th, right? into Aries, 24th into Aries. Okay, Venus is in Aries all month. And Neptune moved here last month into Aries, all in your 8th house of other people's money and resources. Passive money through means other than earning it, such as a insurance payout, legal settlement of some kind, tax refund possibly, like here in the IRS. We have the IRS issuing refunds, income tax refunds. Some kind of, this is also the house of inheritance and legacy, so you could be benefiting from something like that, maybe an insurance payout even, or prize money, if you win, could possibly win something. This is also the house of shared property and shared debt, like shared bank accounts even, shared credit cards, things like that. It's also the house of rebirth and regeneration. Okay, this is ending something and starting something new. And this could be anything from a way of life to a way of thinking, way of living, anything, that you end at this time possibly. Not just like that, this is something very gradual, okay? It's more of like a spiritual kind of thing, especially like with the sun right now being in Taurus in your 9th house of spirituality. You're going through some new things, some kind of different things. I do want to stress though, I will be doing videos on the planets that are in Aries, okay, with Saturn and Neptune moving here, but for now, just be careful of Neptune. It's a wonderful planet, especially for spirituality, but it rules illusion, okay? Not exactly right on the money kind of planet, right? Except for your intuition, which could really kind of soar at this time, because the 8th house is one of the psychic houses, the abilities, right? Could really come to the surface now at this time. But anyways, back to Neptune, like keep an eye on all of your bank accounts and credit cards or anything dealing with money and your possessions or possibly shared property or shared debt. Make sure you keep an eye on things like that your bank statements are correct, credit card statements are correct. Make sure also with Pluto in Aquarius in your 6th house, it does turn retrograde on the 4th, so this may actually prompt something like this with this planet. When a planet turns retrograde, it helps you to review things. Things may slow down in this area, but it gives you time to take stock of what's happened up until this point, So, anyways, the 6th house being the workplace and your co-workers, the kind of work that you do, also your house of health and your house of service to others. But at this time, you may check out your pay stub if you have one. If you're able to actually get one, maybe if you just have a deposit that shows up, even if you're on salary or something, ask, HR for a copy of something or other so you can see what's being taken out of your pay, because one of them could be insurance that you did not sign up for, or the wrong insurance, or some kind of add-on, that you didn't even want. So you could be paying for something or having things deducted from your bank account, or even like creditors, or slapping all kinds of extra stuff on there. That stupid protection plan, that they have, that's actually something you can do on your own. Anyway, stuff like that, okay? So, back to, the 9th house with Taurus here. When Mercury moves into Taurus, your chance of traveling increases, okay? And it could be something planned that you've been planning all along, with the sun here. Obviously, you knew you were going to be doing something at this time, so you've already made plans to do this. Or it could be impromptu, just totally out of the blue, and that's the effect of Uranus in Taurus there in your 9th house. Always up for, some kind of impromptu travel or adventure, okay? Now, there is a full moon in Scorpio on the 12th in your 3rd house. That's where you have the sign of Scorpio. 3rd house being another internet house. It is a local travel. It's also your immediate environment, your neighbors, your neighborhood. It is your everyday life and the people and places you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day. All forms of communication, including regular postal mail. Okay, but it's also your neighbors, your neighborhood, your siblings, your cousins, things like that. So around then, you could get some kind of communication. It could be, from a sibling or like a neighbor even. Could be from anyone, but it's just these these possibilities kind of stand out, right? And, full moons exist to have a issue, a problem that's become an issue, come to the surface so it can be dealt with and done away with. So that's what would more than likely happen around this time. It could be regarding travel. Maybe you're able to do it, maybe you're not, or things have changed, or whatever, or, it could be anything. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, really, okay, with this full moon. It's just maybe, you were planning on learning something. This is the house of higher learning, but you could also learn stuff on your own. You may have even signed up for a class, and maybe that class has been canceled or, delayed or something or other, okay? So, let's see here. The Sun does move into Gemini on the 20th. Mercury moves here on the 25th, and there's a new moon in Gemini on the 26th, and Jupiter is still in Gemini, and this is all in your 10th house of your career. Okay, your 10th house is like the highest point in your chart. The 10th house cusp is known as the midheaven, okay? But it's like your most public house, but it's how you're known to the public for your career, your livelihood, even if you're retired, what you used to do, and also your public persona, like the image you project, okay? So having Jupiter here should have opened an awful lot of opportunities for you over the past year. Jupiter will be moving next month into Cancer. So usually when Jupiter's in your 10th house, you get a promotion of some kind or a different job or, just better whatever when it comes to your career or even your public persona. You may notice, even if you're retired and you're not really out there, working, but that you're still getting favorable press or whatever. But, as far as, let's say like social media, people writing things about you on social media that are very nice, you're very popular, right? So if anything, you're very popular. But now, this planet is getting ready to leave, and a lot of times before Jupiter leaves, it gives you one last chance to like really get the best benefits out of it, okay? With the Sun and all these other planets here right now, I'd have to say that's where your focal point is going to be, like towards mid-month into the end of the month into beginning of June, okay? Is your career or your outer persona, something or other, okay? But this is very, very helpful with Mercury here, the natural ruler of Gemini, okay? And a new moon on the 26th. Mercury's here on the 25th, and the new moon comes on the 26th. So there's something going on here, like a new beginning. That's what the new moon does. It brings a new beginning in this area. So you could actually be starting a new job at this time or a new position, okay? Like I said, that one last, attempt at, using Jupiter for the best of your ability, but for all the things that this planet has to offer you, which is all good stuff, okay? I do have to mention, just briefly, okay, Saturn does still stay in Pisces up until the 24th, until it moves into Aries. So you might notice a difference, you might not, but you know, Pisces is your opposite sign, so it's been directly across from whatever planets you have in Virgo, especially like your rising sign, sun sign, whatever, you know, it puts a damper on you, you know. Saturn, it kind of like depletes your energy in a way, okay? When it's directly across from other planets, right? That's an opposition, and so it's a tug of war between two planets. So Neptune's been here for how long? And when it leaves, you might feel a fog lifting, okay? And Saturn, when it leaves, you may feel restrictions lifting, like the feeling of being free or something, you know. Now I said that this is minor, you know, because it's only moving briefly and hardly moving at all, because both Neptune and Saturn are slow moving planets, though Saturn does move a little faster, right? But you may notice, you in Pisces, okay, may notice a difference when this planet moves, okay? So good for you. So the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Virgo on the 5th, 6th, and 7th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Pisces, and those dates are the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling, and speculation, and anything to do with children is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 15th, 16th, 17th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. The best time for money is the 8th, 9th, 10th, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. The best time for your career is the 26th, 27th, and 28th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 10th, 11th, 12th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. So I hope you enjoyed your forecast for May. Be sure to check out my weekly forecasts, which are now daily shorts. See ya!